你好，我是光启社的社长马绍阿基，欢迎您收看这一周的教宗新闻罗马主场 Rome Report。在新闻的首先，我们带您来关心教宗方济各，他在天主圣三主日，在圣伯多禄大殿的阳台领念三中经。而直到目前为止，意大利的新冠肺炎疫情已经稍微缓和。教宗建议大家不要太早以为成功击退了新冠肺炎。他同时指出，有些国家的疫情仍然很严峻，我们要多为他们祈祷。
In Italy, data reveals the coronavirus situation is improving. However, in the Angelus, the Pope recommended not claiming victory too soon and remembering the countries where the situation is still critical.
Ma state attenti, Non cantare vittoria prima, Non cantare troppo presto vittoria. Grazie a Dio stiamo uscendo del centro più forte, ma sempre con le prescrizioni che ci danno le autorità. Ma purtroppo in altri paesi, io penso in alcuni, il virus sta facendo ancora tante vittime.
Minutes before, he had reflected on Sunday's feast, that of the Holy Trinity.
E oggi pensando a Dio, Padre, Figlio, Spirito Santo, pensiamo all'amore di Dio. E sarebbe bello che noi ci sentessimo amati. Ma Dio mi ama. Questo è il sentimento di oggi.
The Pope suggested reflecting on this sentiment over the next few days in light of the upcoming liturgical feasts. In St. Peter's Square, the lack of tourists is still noticeable. Italy has opened its airports to countries within the European Union. However, many countries still do not allow travel to the country.
2022年的10月，即将在罗马举行的世界主教会议，确定将以教会奉行众义精神的概念作为讨论的主题，而这个主题是为一个同道偕行的教会共荣、参与和使命。
It's neither an absolute monarchy nor a parliament. The Church is synodal by nature. It's precisely this concept that will be the focus of the next Assembly of Bishops in Rome in October 2022. The Synod's theme will be for a synodal church, communion, participation, and mission. It's a concept popes have been developing since the Second Vatican Council.
Jesucristo fundó la Iglesia.
Jesus Christ founded the church and gave it to the apostles. This might lead one to think that the church has a pyramid structure. This, as often happens, has some truth and some incompleteness, because a bishop is not a monarch.
Mentre nella democrazia,
in a democracy, what generally works is the opinion of the majority. In the synodal church, the guiding principle for the life of the church is sensus fidei. In other words, the voice of the Holy Spirit, which manifests itself through a community of the baptized. The synod was a consultative body instituted by Paul VI. His successors then developed its nature and functions. The last update was signed by Pope Francis in September 2018. The synod went from being merely consultative to being an active body. It proposes measures to the Pope and works to see them through. At the end of the last synod, the Pope said something had improved in the way of treating synodality, but that there was still work to do.
Primero de todo quiero agradecer a todos ustedes que han dado este testimonio de trabajo, de escucha, de búsqueda, de buscar poner en práctica este espíritu sinodal que estamos aprendiendo quizás a fijar y que todavía no atinamos a completarlo, pero estamos en un buen camino.
As a matter of fact, on that occasion, the bishop said synodality could be the theme of the next synod, which is exactly what has happened.
在新冠肺炎大流行期间，教宗方济各特别促请欧盟各国重振始创先贤的梦想。他指出，欧盟创始人当初的梦想就是团结、友爱、手足情。
During the pandemic, the Pope has asked Europe to face the crisis by re-energizing the dream of its founding fathers. Obviously, this recommendation isn't limited to the past.
Preghiamo oggi per l'Europa, perché l'Europa riesca a avere questa unità, questa unità fraterna che hanno sognato i padri fondatori dell'Unione Europea.
The Pope refers to the European project of Schuman, De Gasperi, Spaak, and Adenauer, among others. It was a dream that sparked Europe's longest period of peace and prosperity. After centuries of fighting over materials like coal and steel, France and Germany finally decided to share those resources. Their common interests thus became an incentive to replace conflict with collaboration.
Hasta que nace la Unión Europea.
Before the birth of the EU, relations between countries were based on a balance of power. International bodies are indeed based on that balance of power. Nevertheless, right after a war, leaving winners and losers, they said, "We're going to base this project on forgiveness. We're going to start from scratch. We're going to try to be friends, to voluntarily share our sovereignty." Victoria Martín de la Torre wrote Europe, A Leap into the Unknown. It's a thrilling book written as a novel. It recounts how the European countries came to choose collaboration, making the European Union a community, not a multilateral body.
Lo que querían era cambiar la actitud.
They wanted to change people's attitudes. They wanted to achieve a peace based on mutual trust, friendship, and a sense of forming part of the same community. Their idea was, we're creating a community with a destiny. The Pope's proposal to today's leaders is perhaps for them to focus their energy on finding points of collaboration for the common good.
Juntos tenemos que solucionar los
We have to
problemas.
solve problems together. It's not about negotiating to see who can gain more. Instead, if we can manage to find a solution that serves the common good, which St. Thomas said is more than the sum of its individual parts, then we can build a community. The European Union has given the Old World more than 50 years of prosperity, as well as legislation that puts intrinsic human dignity at the forefront. Interestingly enough, two of the community's strongest proponents, Robert Schuman and Alcide de Gasperi, are in the process of beatification.
25年前，教宗若望保禄二世撰写并发布了一篇通谕，愿他们合而为一。在通谕当中说，合一是教会之道，而且不可逆转。这表示全体天主教徒都肩负这个任务，有责任参与合一运动。
25 years ago, Pope John Paul II sent a clear message of unity to all Christians. It was the encyclical Ut Unum Sint, in which he proposed following the path of ecumenical action between Catholics, Orthodox, Protestants, Anglicans, and members of every other Christian denomination.
Paolo II ha scritto questa enciclica.
Pope John Paul II wrote this encyclical 30 years after the end of the Second Vatican Council. In it, he said ecumenism is the way of the Church and that it is irreversible. That means there is a task, a duty, for all the faithful of the Catholic Church to participate in the ecumenical movement. It's a relevant message today and one of Pope Francis's top priorities. He has warned of the temptation Christians of any given denomination can face to feel superior to other Christians.
È un grave peccato sminuire o disprezzare i doni che il Signore ha concesso ad altri fratelli, credendo che costoro siano in qualche modo meno privilegiati di Dio. Se noi nutriamo simili pensieri, permettiamo che la stessa grazia ricevuta diventi fonte di orgoglio, di ingiustizia e di divisione.
On the 25th anniversary of the publication of Ut Unum Sint, Pope Francis sent a letter to Cardinal Kurt Koch to remind him of the progress made and to discuss what's left to do.
Anche Papa Francesco.
Pope Francis in his letter said he shares a healthy impatience for the unity of the Church. He also says we should be grateful for all the efforts made and the steps already taken. Pope Francis acknowledges in the letter that unity is not primarily the result of human action, but rather a gift from the Holy Spirit. Cardinal Kurt Koch says the Pope encourages a deeper understanding of three elements needed to promote unity: walking, praying, and collaborating. He also says it's a path that passes through two key points.
L'ecumenismo della carità vuol dire
Ecumenism of charity means going deeper into the relationship with other churches and their leaders. The ecumenism of truth is the theological analysis of the obstacles still present in those relationships. However, a dialogue of truth can't exist without a dialogue of charity. The Cardinal also recalls some of Pope Francis's gestures to promote ecumenism. One was gifting the relics of St. Peter to the Ecumenical Patriarch of Constantinople. Another was his meeting with the Patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church in Cuba. In March, he was scheduled to visit South Sudan with the leader of the Anglican Church.
It's wonderful to see you. Thank you.
近年来，许多科学家及研究人员都在致力研制疫苗，而针对某些特定的疫苗，有不少人认为或有违伦理。比方，部分正在研制的疫苗是采用由流产胎儿细胞制造的旧细胞株。研究天主教生命伦理的专家说，这样可能有违教会伦理。
As scientists and researchers begin working toward a vaccine for COVID-19, many have found an ethical threat. Some of the vaccine methods being studied are processed by old cell lines created from the cells of fetuses who were aborted. Dr. Edward Furton with the National Catholic Bioethics Center and Helen Watt with Anscombe Bioethics Center explain the process and why it clashes with Catholic doctrine.
Apparently, the researcher stands by and is ready to receive the materials as soon as the abortion is completed. These are placed into a petri dish with appropriate nutrients, and they begin to duplicate themselves, and each duplication is a passage, and over time this is called a cell line. So the cells that are produced in a line are descendant cells from tissue taken from an original abortion. The cells actually are not needed. They don't need to start this way. They can grow vaccines in other ways.
Some methods don't use cells at all, and some use cells from animals or plants. But unfortunately, some methods use cell lines originally developed from tissue taken from an aborted baby. These are cell lines that have been circulating for decades in labs throughout the world. And so obviously those cells do create questions of conscience.
In 2008, the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith explained the Church's stance on ethical controversies like vaccines in a document called Dignitas Personae. It states that the use of human embryos or fetuses as an object of experimentation constitutes a crime against their dignity as human beings. These forms of experimentation always constitute a grave moral disorder. However, not all current coronavirus vaccine trials threaten human dignity.
Just as there's a project in Oxford using fetal cell lines, or a fetal cell line, there is a project in London that doesn't use cells at all. And that project is also quite well developed.
Thus, Watts says it's a matter of time to see which vaccine is produced for coronavirus first and how, insisting it could be made in an ethical way. If it is not, though, the Church says Catholics could get the vaccine, even if it has a connection to abortion.
The Church generally holds, as we read it here, that when there's no alternative and there is a serious health concern, vaccines should indeed be used for the sake of preserving one's own health, that of one's children, and that of society at large.
According to Dignitas Personae, danger to the health of children could permit parents to use a vaccine, which was developed using cell lines of illicit origin. There is one condition for this.
You can, in principle, use these vaccines. However, we should all be asking our healthcare providers to make, our healthcare systems to make ethical vaccines available.
The U.S. bishops did just that, setting the example for Catholics. They sent a letter to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration asking for access to vaccines that are free from any connection to abortion. It contains signatures from many Christian organizations. As tests are being carried out globally in an attempt to find a vaccine for COVID-19, Dignitas Personae says everyone has the duty to make known their disagreement. In this way, life can be protected at every stage, from those vulnerable to coronavirus to the smallest in the womb.
随着夏天的脚步越来越近，全球暖化的问题其实也越来越严重。根据绿色和平组织的调查，到本世纪，全球的平均气温可能会达到摄氏48度 C。而这些21世纪的环境问题，最需要被关注的前3项是气候变化、森林的破坏以及海洋污染。
The environmental challenge is one of the big issues of the 21st century, and there are 3 main areas of concern. The biggest is global warming. According to Greenpeace, the rising temperature could reach 118.4 degrees Fahrenheit by the end of the century. The consequences could be catastrophic.
C'è la possibilità di produrre.
Renewable energy can be produced, but it's not easy because those in control of the fossil fuel industry aren't interested. In the world today, the renewable energy market requires about $285 billion a year. Only banks invest in combustible fossil fuels like carbon, oil, and gas, 2.5 times this number. That's not good. We must change this situation.
The scarcity of potable water would be one of the most serious consequences of global warming. The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations warns that within 5 years, 2/3 of the world population could be living in water-stressed countries. The consequences would be catastrophic, as even the Pope has observed.
L'acqua non è gratis, come tante volte pensiamo. Sarà il grave problema che può portarci a una guerra.
The other major problem is the devastation of forests. In recent years, raging fires have ravaged Australia, Siberia, and California, among others. The Amazon forest, the so-called green lung of the earth, is under constant threat.
Nella questione dell'Amazzonia,
The Amazon Synod from last October raised the alarm regarding indigenous communities, which are being threatened even as we speak. The Brazilian government is taking advantage of the pandemic to further their destruction.
The oceans have been transformed into dumps, especially for plastic. According to Greenpeace, poor management of waste leaves approximately 8 million tons of plastic in the planet's seas and oceans annually. That makes up between 60 and 80% of the garbage in the ocean, and the consequences are unpredictable.
教宗方济各最近在宗座大楼图书馆的讲授要里指出，当人满有疑惑时，总会脆弱无力。在旧约当中的雅各伯是一个例子。他白手起家，不靠任何人的帮助，自以为有能力驾驭一切，认为自己不需要怜悯，但是天主也给了他一个考验。
Pope Francis recalled that vulnerability is truly found in moments of doubt. As an example, he spoke of Jacob, a self-made man from the Old Testament who didn't need anyone's help.
Non conosceva cosa fosse la misericordia. Era lui. Qui sono io, comando io. Non aveva bisogno di misericordia, sentiva lui.
However, his humbling moment arrived. He had betrayed his brother and felt he should reconcile with him, but his brother's reaction worried him. At that moment, an unknown adversary appeared, whom he fought throughout the night. The adversary was God and leaves Jacob lame for life. But not only that.
Esce cambiato. Per una volta non è più padrone della situazione. La sua scaltrezza non serve. Non è più l'uomo stratega, calcolatore. Dio lo riporta alla sua verità di mortale che trema e ha paura. Gli cambia il nome, gli cambia la vita, gli cambia l'atteggiamento.
The Pope explained that Jacob's combat with his adversary is a metaphor for prayer.
In quella stessa notte, combattendo contro l'ignoto, prenderemo coscienza di essere solo poveri uomini. Mi permetto di dire poveracci. Ma proprio allora, nel momento in cui io mi sento un poveraccio, non dovremmo temere, perché in quel momento Dio ci darà un nome nuovo, che contiene il senso di tutta la nostra vita.
Through this example, Pope Francis pointed out that prayer is true when one is vulnerable. A proud person cannot leave room for God.
Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus.
梵蒂冈的宗座档案馆最近公开有关教宗庇护12世的历史档案，期望借此让世人更全面地了解2次大战期间这一位教宗采取的策略。比方说，为何庇护12世当年没有公开谴责对犹太人施行的迫害，以及为什么他选择默默行动，将犹太人藏在修院、隐修院，甚至是自己的房子里。
The Vatican will open its archives on Pius XII, hoping to give a complete vision of the Pope's strategy during World War II. The documents will explain why Pius XII didn't publicly denounce anti-Jewish persecution in those years, and why he chose to act behind the scenes and hide Jews in convents, abbeys, and even his own house. Among the first researchers to analyze the documents will be experts from the Holocaust Memorial in Washington.
The Church is not afraid of history. Pope Francis told us this when we met him. The opening of the archives demonstrates peace of mind and a desire to share our history and our documents with anyone who can study them. It will undoubtedly provide a broader and well-founded perspective to better judge and understand the whole situation. He prevented Americans and Allied forces from destroying Rome. He also contributed to making the Germans leave the city without causing even more damage.
Starting Monday, March 2nd, 16 million documents from the Pius XII archives will be available. It's taken 20 people and 14 years to classify them.
Es un material, digamos,
There's a tremendous amount of material. It's important to approach research calmly and above all with an interdisciplinary attitude. On every topic, there will be many sources to consult. There are many issues: church governance, the Pope's relationship with dioceses, theological development. The important thing is the broad scope of perspectives and the multiplicity of themes. Let's not reduce the papacy to a single aspect. Pius XII wanted to call a council, but he decided not to. He governed the church purposefully. He appointed bishops according to his agenda. He guided the church through a very difficult time, but with a very strong personal impact.
Theoretically, the archives were to open in 2028, but Pope Francis decided to open them 8 years early. The archives can accommodate 60 researchers at a time. As of now, 160 people have reserved a slot. Their work will help put together a more complete picture of this 20th century protagonist.
感谢您收看这一周的教宗新闻罗马主场 Rome Report。在节目的最后，我们一同来观赏光启社的公益小短片《要有光》。我是光启社的社长马绍阿基，我们下一周再会，祝福大家平安喜乐。
要我们一起做一个祈祷，就是福音末观，在福音里面跟耶稣相遇。怎么做呢？很简单，我们开始的时候就可以找到一个舒服的姿态，然后闭眼睛，深呼吸。让你的脖子、你的肩膀放松，尽量让你的手、你的背后放松，体会到你的大腿在碰椅子，你的脚在碰地板，尽量让它们放松。现在把接下来的时间都奉献给耶稣。主耶稣基督，我们感谢你，因为你临在我们心内。现在我们把接下来的时间都奉献给你，恳求你带领我们的心灵和思想，使我们靠近你，使我们听到你的声音，使我们体会到你对我们的爱。我们这样求，是靠耶稣基督之名。我现在要念一个故事， 你已经听过这个故事，你不必做什么，你不必说什么，就让这个故事加入你的心内。他们来到了耶里哥，耶稣和他的门徒及一大群人从耶里哥出来的时候，有一个瞎眼的乞丐及提买的儿子巴尔提买坐在路旁。他一听说是拿撒勒人耶稣，就喊叫说：“耶稣，大卫之子，可怜我吧！”许多人就斥责他，叫他不要作声。但他越发喊叫说：“大卫之子，可怜我吧！”耶稣就站住说：“叫他过来。”人就叫那瞎子，给他说：“放心，起来，他叫你呢。”瞎子就扔下自己的外衣，跳起来，走到耶稣跟前。耶稣对他说：“你愿意我给你做什么？”瞎子说：“师父，叫我看见。”耶稣对他说：“去吧，你的信的救了你。”瞎子立刻看见了，就在路上跟着耶稣去了。你听到今天的故事的时候，有没有一句话特别触动你的心呢？你要不要加入这个故事？如果它发生在你面前，你会看到什么？你会听到什么呢？那边的气氛如何呢？你要不要成为这个故事的一部分，加入它？比方说，你是否是众人之一，或是门徒们之一，或是可能你就是这个瞎眼的乞丐，或是你就是你自己。我会最后一次念这个故事，然后会静默片刻，是一个机会，如果你愿意的话，把你心内的最深的渴望向耶稣表达。他们来到了耶里哥，耶稣和他的门徒及一大群人从耶里哥出来的时候，有一个瞎眼的乞丐及提买的儿子巴尔提买坐在路旁。他一听说是拿撒勒人耶稣，就喊叫说：“耶稣，大卫之子，可怜我吧！”有许多人就斥责他，叫他不要作声。但他越发喊叫说：“大卫之子，可怜我吧！”耶稣就站住说：“叫他过来。”人就叫那瞎子，给他说：“放心，起来，他叫你呢。” 下次就扔下自己的外衣，跳起来，走到耶稣跟前。耶稣对他说：“你愿意我给你做什么？”请问耶稣有没有听到你的声音呢？耶稣对你有没有什么反应？耶稣想跟你说什么话呢？我们现在静默片刻，是一个机会聆听耶稣。再邀请你留意你自己的内心，你跟耶稣在一起的时候，你有什么感受呢？你有什么情绪呢？耶稣是我们的主，也是我们的朋友。我可以跟耶稣说任何话，问耶稣任何一个问题。所以现在我们就更放松，就让耶稣坐在我身边，很自由的跟耶稣说话。我是问耶稣任何一个问题，我是聆听他。现在我们到祈祷最后的部分。现在你不必做什么，你不必说什么，就让耶稣坐在你身边，让他的爱围绕着你，让他的爱更深的流到你的心内，扎根在你心内。你不必做什么，就品尝耶稣的爱，或是就让耶稣爱你。心里准备好的时候，可以慢慢的离开这个祈祷的环境，慢慢的打开眼睛，把这个小小的祈祷，把自己都放在天主的手里。我们的天父，愿你的名受宣扬，愿你的国来临，愿你的旨意奉行在人间，如同在天上。求你今天赐给我们日用的食粮，求你宽恕我们的罪过，如同我们宽恕别人一样。不要让我们陷入诱惑，但救我们免于凶恶。阿们。如果在做这样子的简单的祈祷当中，有一点触动你的心， 可能是你的感受，或是耶稣对你的一句话，可以把它写下来，是耶稣给你的一份礼物。最后，如果你对这样子的福音默观有兴趣，灵修中心有简单的资料可以跟我们联络。无论如何，愿耶稣基督祝福你和你的家人。
光启社需要您的支持与赞助，可使用邮政划拨汇款，收款户名财团法人光启文教视听节目服务社，邮拨账号00035511。本节目由光启社媒体福传以爱还爱影音工程计划赞助播出。2020年耶稣会士南怀仁传需要您的支持与赞助，请扫描影片中的 QR code 或电洽0227712136转200。您的支持是我们继续前进的动力。